Straight away going across to a breaking update where Republic has accessed exclusive satellite images that expose the Chinese construction in Bhutan less than 30 kilometers from Doklam, where over 200 structures are said to be visible in those images on your television screens as we play out those exclusive pictures that are coming across. Straight away going across now to Shivani. Shivani, good morning. There were earlier reports of construction on the border villages close to the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh. Now China has stepped up construction in Bhutan.
Amita, these are the exclusive pictures, the imagery which has been issued and analyzed by two different agencies that clearly show how the construction activity inside Bhutan's territory by China has been stepped up over a few months. And these are more than 166 different buildings, different structures. And in terms of, if we talk about in the number of villages, there are at least 2 villages that are being constructed by China inside the Bhutan's territory. And this has happened along the line of actual control in Arunachal Pradesh also, that has been reported by Republic earlier, to which there were reactions from the MEA, from the Defense Ministry also. And this time also, this development exclusive pictures are on Republic, in which it is clearly showing how China is building new buildings, constructing more multi-story buildings inside Bhutan's territory. And we must tell our viewers that this place is quite close to Doklam, the area in which India and China were in a face-off in 2017, where Indian soldiers had stopped the Chinese from building a road inside the India's territory. But now China has started this construction from a different axis, Amita. That is also important to tell our viewers right now, because the infrastructure, the construction work that the Chinese are taking up, not only here in this particular area in Bhutan, but also in Arunachal Pradesh, is a matter of concern, to which reactions have been coming. And now it is clearly shown how China is building these villages inside Bhutan's territory, close to India's chicken neck. And important is here, on 1st of January, the new land border laws have been implicated by the Chinese, and India has reacted that it doesn't mean anything to us. We are firm, well poised on the borders. In fact, 2 days back, when the Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Naravane was reacting to these questions, he said that China has been doing a lot of infrastructure development work close to Indian borders, close to, in fact, LAC. But India is monitoring the situation. India is also matching the infrastructure. But this another activity has been exposed by Republic into these satellite pictures, in which it clearly shows how China is intruding now inside Bhutan. Bhutan and China have been in dispute of the border. They have been discussing the matter since last 4 decades. And we know that India and China are also in a face-off, and we are into dialogue. In fact, 14 rounds of talks have already finished. Yesterday, there was a joint statement by both the countries after these talks happened. And now, once again, we see how Chinese are building up villages inside Bhutan. That is quite close to Doklam, as close as 30 kilometers. So it is a matter of concern. We'll wait for the reactions from the ME on this.
Right, just stay on with us, Shivani. I have to quickly go across to our guest also joining us, Major General Ashok Kumar. He is with us here on the broadcast. Sir, good morning. How do we understand with the issue of the 14th round of military talks that though did not yield any positive results, but on disengagement that India and China have been talking about. But on the other side, China continues with its construction activity. These are high-resolution satellite imagery, sir, that shows how China is constructing at least 2 large interconnected villages well within the territory of Bhutan. How do we understand this?
Firstly, a word on 14th Corps Level Commander Conference. There was a high hope, and it was reasonable also, that at least the issue of hot spring will get resolved, but that didn't happen. There is a hope probably in the next meeting, which is likely to be scheduled in an earlier time frame, as against 3 months, this time which happened. This issue may be resolved, but there is a stance of Chinese, which is becoming very strong for every passing day. As far as Bhutan and construction there is concerned, when Doklam happened, and that was opposed resolutely by us, a belief was spread as if China will not, activate such activities again in future. However, China not only is in dialogue with Bhutan, but also doing such constructions which are not fair on Bhutan border on a number of places. China is more inclined if he can get certain concessions on the western Bhutan in lieu of larger concession which it is willing to give on the northern Bhutan. However, that is not in the India's interest, because any expansion by China on the western Bhutan will enhance the threatening posture towards Siliguri corridor, which links us with all our northeast states, which is already very narrow.
Right, sir, because right now what is being said that this is very close proximity also to Doklam, sir, nearly 30 kilometers from the Doklam Plateau, where India and China had these border skirmishes in 2017. Should India be raising this issue with China, sir?
I think there is a need of raising this issue with diplomatic channels also with China. However, given the previous response of China on all such issues, whether it is a land border law is concerned, the incursions on LAC is concerned, incursion in Doklam and Bhutan is concerned, China apparently doesn't pay any heed to such actions. It just becomes a theoretical exercise. But what will be the value while that should be done? But unless we oppose China in a much more stronger manner, there is very less likely that China will agree to our oppositions or raising issues on such counts.
All right, let me go back to Shivani for just a bit. Shivani, because as far as this construction activity was earlier reported in Arunachal as well, and India had strongly objected to that, what really do we mean when it comes to such construction activity that is heightened from Chinese side? And of course, the border skirmishes that continue.
Amita, we know that China has been quite affirmative, and it has been it has been doing construction not only along the LAC near the borders of India in Arunachal Pradesh, but now when we see that in Bhutan such structures are coming up, they can be a threat to India's integrity as well, because they are quite close to the vicinity of the chicken neck, that Siliguri corridor, which is a thin corridor, and in which India has also monitored the situation and ramped up its infrastructure development. We reported earlier this last year about the Kaladan project, in which India is also making an alternate route through this area to make it more stronger strategically. But now, when in Bhutan, China is making such structures closer to Doklam, it is a matter of concern. In fact, an army and the MEA will together look into the matter. They'll raise the concern certainly with China through the diplomatic channels also. And in Arunachal also, we've seen that the villages have been constructed by China, though they are not habited by anybody. They are inhabitable villages. As of now, nobody is living in those villages, but China wants to show that it is present, and it is actually trying to bring people, lure people to stay close to the border areas with a lot of attractions like free ration, free things to them to come and stay close to that inhabitable atmosphere along the line of actual control, to show its presence inside those territories. And now India is also monitoring the situation. India is raising concerns. India is also matching to the infrastructure of China on our side. But certainly the kind of attitude we see from China, and inside Bhutan when it is building, Bhutan is a small country. It has been in talks with China over the border dispute since last 40 years or so. But again, what is happening is China is trying to enhance, it is trying to build up and go further inside the territory of Bhutan. And why India should be concerned is that India, that place in Bhutan is quite close to India's territory, in which we have already seen a skirmish in 2017 when the Chinese were building a road and Indians tried to stop them. But now China has restarted that building that road from another axis, and that might result in another dispute or another concern concern from India. That is quite important, and
Right.
we'll have to wait that how these construction activities by China are taken by the India's Defence Ministry, by the India's diplomatic channels.
Right, because Major General Kumar, you mentioned about diplomatic channels, but this also means that both the Indian Army and the PLA commanders continue to engage in future talks, but there still is no guarantee on whether the PLA will restore to the April 2020 status quo ante in the Gogra hot springs, or to even resolve the Depsang bulge or the CNG issue, sir. CNJ issue.
Absolutely right. We should not see the Chinese actions as one of the actions. It is a part of deliberate plan which has been executed by Chinese. If you see the Doklam standoff, that was the single incident. Probably, he was trying to find out what could be the response of Bhutan, what could be the response of India, and in what time frame, one of the two can yield. After 17 days, it appeared that, it has gone in our favor. But now what he is doing, he had focused in Eastern Ladakh, in an area where he is already in control of the entire disputed Aksai Chin with him. And he has made a deliberate attempt to reach his 1959 claim line. It is not that, he had just got at one place little ahead and, it is a single incident. It is part of design wherein he wants to reach the 1959 claim line. So that is what he has attempted in Eastern Ladakh. Since in Eastern Ladakh, the Indian Army also responded with a lot of effort, and there is a matching force level not only on the LAC but also in the depth areas. Now he is trying to play another big game, and that big game is opposite Bhutan, wherein by this thing he is now trying to divide the response of Indian Army on two extremities. One on the extreme west on the Eastern Ladakh area, one on the almost eastern area in the Bhutan area. Therefore, not only he is trying to confuse us politically, but also militarily also.